Okay, so picking up the versatile story where we left off, Peter Pakosh and Roy Robinson have moved their company, the Hydraulic Engineering Company, from Toronto to Winnipeg, and they've got a few products under their belt. Augers, a field sprayer, a harrow, and a self-propelled swather, and they're starting to expand into the pull-type combine market as well. And so they changed the name to Versatile and took the company public in 1963. And about a year later, they built a factory on Clarence Avenue in Winnipeg. And that's still their headquarters today. Here's what it looks like. Roy managed the day-to-day operations stuff because he was pretty good at it. And Peter continues to work with the engineers on product development. The legend has it that Peter always kept a stick of chalk in the pocket of the three-piece suits that he wore to work every day, so that he could work with the engineers sketching and problem solving on the concrete floors of the plant. Anyway, they know that there's a market for four-wheel drive tractors, and so Peter knows that if they can put a four-wheel drive out there on pneumatic tires, the flotation would let the farmers get into the fields a little earlier, and that's a big competitive advantage. So the company called in a couple of consulting groups, and both of them said, don't do it. There's no market for it. You'll never sell big, heavy four-wheel drives. Fortunately, Peter and Roy trusted their gut, and they threw that advice out the window, and they went to work designing a tractor. Their first tractors launched in 1966, the D100 and G100, both open station articulating machines that used either a Ford diesel or a Chrysler gas engine. Both of them made about 100 horse. And true to their gut, they didn't have a single problem selling them. In fact, they were so successful that by 1967, they'd maxed out their company's capacity on the shop floor, had to expand again so they could tool up for 3 new models, the 118, 125, and 145, which incidentally were the first tractors they sold with cabs. The first few years of the 70s saw a little bit of a slump when the grain market in Canada tanked, but they released the Series 1 tractors in 1972, and it was basically game on from there. And by 1976, when they launched the Series 2 machines and the bidirectionals, the company was super profitable. I mean, they employed over 1,300 people, and they were putting over $100 million in annual sales on the books. I don't know exactly what the numbers were, but I've heard that it was close to 70% market share. Regardless, they had the market pretty well cornered. And that was good enough for Peter and Roy. And in 1976, they sold their stake in the company, and they called it quits. They called it a career. Come back for part 4. We'll wrap it up with some final thoughts.